Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Whip It Like Butter. Okay, so today we're going to make a marble cake, y'all. We don't need to talk a lot about this. It's vanilla, chocolate, mixed together, swirl it, put it in the oven, bake, and bam, you have this beautiful marble cake. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm gonna show you how it's done. Let's go. Okay, so we're going to start by putting our baking powder and our salt in here with our flour, and we're just going to give that a good mix with our fork just to make sure that it's incorporated in there. All right, we're good, and then we're going to go ahead and start creaming our butter here. So put 2 sticks of butter, that's all you need for this recipe. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and start the mixing process. So y'all, once the butter breaks down, then I go ahead and add the sugar. So I just tried something a little bit different this time. I just went ahead and added the sugar slowly. You can add it fast, you can add it slow, as long as it gets nice and creamy. So here it's starting to blend together right, but it's not creamy like we need it to be. We need that thing to go like 5 minutes or so. Now it's getting there here, and it's about there. Okay, so you want your butter to look nice and whipped like this. That's at the point that it's creamed together, and I'm just gonna go ahead and scrape my sides down at this point. Start the mix on slow again, okay? And then we're gonna go ahead and add our vanilla extract in there. All right, now just mix that to a mix, nothing major. Then we're gonna go ahead and start adding our eggs in here. Y'all know how we do, 1 egg at a time. You want to go ahead and mix until it's well incorporated. It's well incorporated when you don't see any yellow after the addition of the egg. Okay, so because of how my mixer is, and you see it's a little clumping, on the sides and stuff like that, I'll go ahead and scrape down my bowl at this point. I don't always show y'all every little scrape down. You kind of got to gauge when you need to scrape down the size of your bowl, like in this type of occasion. So we're going to go ahead and start alternating with our flour and our buttermilk here. So we're going to start and end with flour per usual. So add your flour. Once it's starting to mix a little bit, then you want to go ahead and add your buttermilk, and you can add this in thirds. So you can do like a cup or so. Yeah, a cup of flour at a time. I just kind of guesstimate, just as long as you start and you end with your flour mixture, and you make sure that it's nice and well blended. But of course, we don't want to over mix. We mix to just enough. You see, we still got plenty on the sides, and then we get in there and we hand mix the rest of it just to make sure that we're not over mixing our batter. All right, so we're doing something a little funky with this marble cake. Okay, so we gotta make our little chocolate cake concoction. So once we have our vanilla batter mixed together, we want to add about half of it into our other pan. You can add, you know what? You can add even a little less than half, because we're gonna go ahead and add our cocoa powder and our milk in here, and it's gonna make make this half batter have a little bit more volume. All right, so you just add your cocoa powder in there. You want to start it slow, because y'all can see that smoke. That's that powder going everywhere. And then you can add your milk in there. Now you can do this by hand. Why do it by hand? We can use the mixer, is my philosophy. So I don't. Y'all see I'm with all the spilling on this day. But anyway, so you just want to mix it until it's nice and blended, and then we're going to get ready to start our little next process. All right, the fun part. Now this took a little time. We're going to finish hand mixing with the spoon here. This took a little time, but it wasn't that bad. It's easier if you have like 2 ice cream scoops, but I don't have 2 ice cream scoops, so I use the ice cream scoop and a measuring cup. So you want to go ahead and spray your Bundt pan. Y'all, don't pre-spray. Spray your Bundt pan right when you're getting ready to add that mix, so nothing sticks. Okay, so we're going to put our vanilla mixture into our Bundt pan, and we're going to spread it out so that we can add our chocolate pieces, our chocolate dollops of cake, of cake batter, in between our vanilla mixture. So I used about a half a cup measuring cup. That was great because I didn't fill it up all the way. So I just took a good scoop and then went ahead and dropped that batter into the Bundt pan like you see here. All right, and then you can use a fork or a skewer or something like that similar, and you can go ahead and you can give that a swirl. So there are a million methods of adding your batter and doing your swirl. This is the one I chose. I also saw another method where the person added all the vanilla cake batter in there, and then they just added the chocolate cake batter kind of in the middle of the vanilla cake batter. That's another method. I haven't tried that, but there are a million ways to do it. So just kind of, play around with this recipe and decide what method works best for you. So I just kept doing the vanilla and chocolate alterations until I was able to use all of the batter. All right, and then swirled it on top. And I didn't tap the pan or anything like that. It was pretty flat, so I just went ahead and put it in the oven like so. So you want to put it in a cold oven. We bake it on 325 degrees for about 70 minutes. You definitely want to start checking on it at like the 50-minute mark. It won't be done, but you want to start checking on it and then check on it like every 5 to 10 minutes just to make sure that you don't overcook your cake. As always, toothpick comes out the center. It's done. And here we are with our cake. And you can also add a chocolate ganache. I'll also link that recipe below. Okay, so it's time for our taste test, honey. So we have our nice, beautiful piece of cake here. All right. But I want to, before I taste this, I want to show y'all this other piece. You know what I mean? You saw it in the video at the end. I want to show you again so you can see the different marbling on this piece of cake. All right. So as I cut the cake, you know what I mean? This slice is like this, but the other slices look more marbled. So let's give this a taste. Y'all just touching this cake. It's all like nice and moist and delicious. I'll try this other side. Let me turn this to the side because I want that flavor swirled together. So I'm gonna get this piece. Y'all, this cake is amazing. I thought about putting a chocolate ganache on there. Glad I didn't, because this cake is just amazing just the way it is. So go ahead and get that recipe in the description box. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Don't be stingy. Always make sure that you share, and we'll catch y'all next time.